How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Crafted Cars. In today's video, we're going to be troubleshooting some issues that have popped up on my 1994 Acura Legend. The first issue we're going to address is with the automatic adjusting steering wheel. As part of the Acura Legend's automatic driver position memory system, the wheel should automatically tilt and telescope into position when I put the key into the ignition. And as you can see, it's not doing that. Now, when I press the repositioning buttons on the steering wheel, which allows me to kind of manually adjust it, I can hear a relay clicking, but I'm still not getting any action here. So what that means is the control circuit for the relay is still functioning. It's still getting the signal saying, hey, it's time to move the wheel. However, there's no power. Why is there no power? Well, my best guess is it's probably a blown fuse. So I did some digging online and I found that fuse number 15.8 in the engine compartment fuse box is for the steering column control unit. Take a look at this diagram. It looks like fuse number 58 is right about here, kind of towards the front of the box. That's gonna be this guy. Oh, and sure enough, the link in there is broken. Dead giveaway. So let's pop in a new fuse. And we'll test it out. Well, it moved for like 2 seconds. That would be strange if we blew the fuse already. No, the fuse still looks good. I did read on one forum that you can reset the system, leave the battery unplugged for like 10 minutes and it solves the issue for some people, so we'll try that. All right, let's try this again. Oh, okay. We're getting some motion here. I got the car running right now. The steering wheel is in the position that I like. I'll go ahead and save this as position 1. So when I shut the car off, it should retract. Perfect. All right, that's one problem fixed. Now the next issue I have is a little bit more concerning. We've got some air in the cooling system. Now, how I knew this, I had some symptoms including a little bit of a surging idle. If I left the car parked for like 5 minutes, that usually happens if you have air bubbles going through your idle air control valve on like the Civics, or on this car, I think it has a fast idle thermal valve. Another issue I had was when I was parked or at a stop sign or something, the hot air inside the car, the heater, wouldn't blow hot air anymore. It's another good sign you got an air bubble trapped in your heater core. And I did check in my radiator and overflow tank and they both looked a little low. So first step, we're gonna go ahead and bleed all the air out of the system using one of those fancy bleeder funnels. All right, so I got the bleeder funnel on the car, got it hooked up with the correct adapter here, and no lie, I've been running this thing for about an hour. I think just since it's kind of cold outside today, it took a while for the car to heat up, but now I'm finally seeing the fans cycle on and off, so that's good. And then in the car, of course, you want to have the heat on full blast. We have been up to operating temperature for a good half hour now. Everything's looking good. Heat in the car is blowing nice and hot, unlike it was previously, so that's a good sign. The bubbles have stopped during idle. Every once in a while, I'll squeeze up on the radiator hoses or give it a rev. Every once in a while when I squeeze the top radiator hose, like if I wait like 15 minutes in between, I don't know, I've been getting some small bubbles. Nothing crazy. Might just be OCD. Yeah, that's looking good now. Oh, see, there's some small bubbles. So if there is air entering the cooling system, it's happening so slowly. If it's a bad head gasket, it is the tiniest bad head gasket or the tiniest leak ever. I'll go ahead and rev it. That's like 3,000 RPM and we're not seeing any bubbles. I have blown head gaskets on the Civic in the past, and before, when it had a blown head gasket, you'd rev it and you just get the constant tiny stream of bubbles. That's never a good sign, and we're not seeing it here. So things are looking pretty good. We're at least able to drive it now, so that's good. One thing I noticed though is we don't have any external leaks. That's a good sign. I did a pressure test yesterday. Like I said, we've been running the car for about an hour. I've had the cardboard under the car for the whole time, and there is not a single drop. If you guys want to see a video on how to do a cooling system pressure test, I can make a video on that, but I don't think I'll waste my time with it today since obviously we have no external leaks. It is bone dry in here, and as you can see, all the hoses and everything, it looks like brand new in here. It's awesome. Usually you get in these 90s cars and all the hoses and plastics are all brittle and corroded. Nah, everything has been preserved very well. So shout out to the previous owner for taking very good care of this. One thing I did notice is this is not an OEM radiator. So the radiator cap I took off this thing, it looks like it's a Stance brand at 13 pounds, which is whack because the Honda OEM cap, I got that around here. Oh yeah, I got it in my pocket. This is what should be on there. I don't know what that's doing on my car. This is a 1.1 bar, which I think is around 14.5 pounds. So it's actually running at a lower pressure than it should be, which is kind of whack. And as you can see, there are different types. So I think this is a type B radiator cap, and this is a type A. Type A is a little bit more round. And so I ordered this radiator cap here, this OEM Acura Legend radiator cap, because I figured maybe I had a bad radiator cap, and that's how air was getting into the system. I did notice a couple like small stains around the engine bay, just little small things just kind of around the front by the cap. But I don't know. It's I'm gonna have to find a type A Honda cap. But then I remembered I got one right here. So I'm not using the Civic right now. And this one's made in Japan, 1.1. Should just be able to borrow this. And since I know this is a good working cap, I guess I'll just run this now. As you can see, matches up to the one that was on the car, does not match to the OEM. So yeah, I'll be running this for the next couple weeks, and of course in our next Tuesday's video, I'll update you guys and let you know if the car's running good or if I've had any issues with air coming back into the system. I'm also going to be monitoring my coolant level and the radiator as well as the overflow tank. I filled up the overflow tank so it's right above the minimum letters there. I guess that's our first modification in the engine bay. Let's throw the skid plate back on, take the car off the ramps, and we'll wrap this video up. Well guys, that was a pretty productive day of troubleshooting. I'm glad we went through with it because now I can daily drive my Acura Legend again. Me and Lauren have been sharing the CRV for the past couple weeks, and I'm ready to get back in the Legend. Speaking of CRV, that's what we're going to be working on in the next episode. It's got a small mechanical failure that I think is pretty common on a lot of CRVs, so I think I'll address it, make a video of it, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for tagging along. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And before you know it, we'll be working on the Civic again. Weather's going to start warming up hopefully soon here. Yeah, I cannot wait to get back on this car. I'm a little burnt out on the Civic chassis right now, so taking a little break. I also have some audio systems I want to install on the Legend and the CRV, so I'll probably film that install as well. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in to Crafty Cars. I'll see you next time. Bye!